Hi, I'm Chef Gail Sokol and welcome to my kitchen. Today, I am going to be showing you the best gingerbread cookie recipe ever. It will be your go-to year after year. It doesn't matter what you're making, whether it's cookies, a gingerbread house, tiny cookies, big cookies. This is your go-to. Stop the phone. This is the gingerbread cookie of your dreams, and I've been making it for years. It's perfectly spiced and it's spectacular. So let's get started. Oh, did I say it was super easy? It's super easy. So I have melted 1 stick or 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter in my saucepan. I've taken it off the heat. Obviously it's cooled down just a little bit. I have half a cup of molasses plus 2 tablespoons. So half a cup plus 2 tablespoons. I'm putting it right in there. Yummy molasses. That's what's going to give it its nice, beautiful gingerbread color. It's sort of nice and brown and just lovely. 1 large egg. And I have a whisk handy because I'm going to whisk it all up. Half a cup of sugar. Granulated sugar. Whisk it up. So these are your wet ingredients for the entire recipe. Now this recipe, you can double, you can triple it. When I taught many kids how to make gingerbread and gingerbread houses, this was our go-to recipe year after year after year. Okay, see how that looks? Just leave it on the side. Okay, it's ready to go. Electric mixer. In my electric mixer, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. All right, now for the spices. Yum, yum, yum. 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, half a teaspoon of ground cloves. The cloves, oh my gosh, they really make it. They give it that fragrance, that gingerbread. People come in my house as they're in the oven and they'll say, "What are you baking? I love it. It smells so fragrant. It's got to be gingerbread." It's gingerbread. Half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of table salt. All goes in there. Take a whisk. All right, whisk it up. Sometimes the paddle doesn't get to the bottom. I've said this before on many of my videos, and you really want to get a perfect mix in here. Homogeneously blended. That's the name of the game, folks. Paddle attachment, and you're just going to put this on low speed so you're not wearing it, and we're going to pour in our beautiful wet ingredients. Just pour them in. Just pour them in. Just pour them in. All right, just let them go in there. You can see, get it all in. Oh, I can smell the molasses. So yummy. All right, get it all in. And if you come and look at this dough, it's still very wet. It doesn't look like a dough that you would call gingerbread because it's not done yet. We still need a little more flour. So I have reserved 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to add as much of this as I need in order to get a nice malleable dough that I can handle. All right, so on low speed, I'm going to add as much of this 1 cup of flour. You may not need it all. You may need all of it. Depends. And I don't like to chill my gingerbread dough. I'm in a hurry for gingerbread. Yeah, I'm in a hurry. So I'm be making it like right now. So no need to chill it. No need to waste time. But I am going to feel the dough before I add the remainder. And I'm going to take a bowl scraper. I'm going to get this out of here. It looks very crumbly, and that's the way this is supposed to look. All right. So I'm going to take my bowl scraper. This is that malleable plastic. You can even use a rubber spatula. You can use your fingers, and I'm going to end up using my fingers in a second because you know how I love to get my hands in the dough. And that's the best baker gets their hands in the dough. They're not afraid of getting their hands in the dough. So I am going to move it around and push it like this. Now, if you've some reason have added too much flour, add a little water. It'll be fine. All right, so I'm gonna bring it over here for a second. I may have to adjust. And I'm gonna do another kooky thing, but it works because I don't wanna wait for gingerbread. All right, let's see if this is done. And you wanna make sure that that dough is basically coming together. So it's gonna be sort of like Play-Doh. And you wanna make sure that all the flour on the bottom is blended in. All right, give yourself a minute or two. Feel your dough. All right, get your hands in there. And it should really come together, okay, like that. If you feel that it is too wet, add a little more flour. Mine is borderline. So again, you have that whole cup to play with. I don't know, I'm feeling good about this dough. Okay, see this? That's what you want in your dough. All right, I'm going to do a quick hand wash, but I'm going to flip your world over. And I'll explain what I mean in a second. Things are not what they seem. So you're going to get a large sheet pan. All right, very large sheet pan. If you notice, I don't have any parchment paper like I normally would use. I'm gonna flip your world over. Flip it over. That's right, baby. Flip it over because I roll it out on the bottom. That's how I cannot chill this because I don't want to have to dig it out. We're going to have to pull around the extra dough and get that off. And then I'm going to take a little vegetable oil and I just take a brush and just going to brush like you're painting the bottom of your sheet pan. If anyone came into my kitchen now, they would think I was crazy, but it works. It really, really does the trick, all right? Because I don't, you know how you get marks? I'm gonna get a knife, but you know how you get marks on the gingerbread with the flour? I don't want any marks on my gingerbread. So I'm gonna pull this gingerbread out. And sometimes it just needs a little moistness, and sometimes that does the trick. And I'm not going to roll it all out. I'm going to roll maybe a third to a half of it out. All right. And I'm just going to leave it on the bottom. Get your rolling pin. All right. And if you see a few cracks, just push them back together. Don't worry about it. All right. Now you can use a little flour if you wish. But I don't like to see the streaks of flour in my gingerbread. I'm a real stickler about that, especially if you're making a house or you're making, what I'm making today, I'm making snowflakes. And I'm making big snowflakes. So you can actually cover this whole bottom of this pan with your dough, and it should be about a 1/4 inch thick. I have preheated my oven to 375 degrees. And you know what? They only bake for 6 to 8 minutes. Yeah, and wait till you see how big my gingerbread cookies are. If you see any cracks, that's perfectly normal for this type of dough. All right, I think we're just about there. And I'm only gonna do a few. I've got these big snowflakes. Okay, love them. And I'm gonna push down. Now you can cover the whole thing, like I said, if you want, and you can do any shape you want. Just give it a shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. I didn't even use flour on the cookie cutters. All right, lift it up. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do this one. Make sure that your snowflakes or whatever you're cutting out is not too close. Because remember, it does have a little baking soda. Baking soda is a chemical leavener, so they will change shape and puff up a little bit. Then I take my knife and I actually get rid of the extra. Yes, I could cut out other cookies here, but I'm just showing you what I do because I don't want to move these cookies off of here. Do you ever make a sugar cookie and as you're transferring it with an offset spatula, it breaks? Well, I don't like that for my gingerbread. So I actually do it like this and it works out beautifully. So my oven's ready to go. All right. And I'm just going to cut around the excess. And if you get a little bit of dough in here, just take a very sharp knife and go in there and get it out. And this is how I do a gingerbread house too. Just cut the parts. Use a stencil, whatever you like to use, whether it's 3x5 cards or sometimes, I don't know, the kids, when I made them, we made big gingerbread houses. Big, big, big. The biggest, or the hardest thing I should say, was for the kids to get them home. So once we do this, we're gonna stick this in the oven. This recipe should make about 20 cookies depending on how big you make them. They'll make probably about 10 really big ones. But like I said, depending on how many you need, you can increase this recipe. You can have it if you want just a little bit of gingerbread. And the dough freezes beautifully as well. Okay. And you can oil it as you need it. As you need to, I should say. And if you have a little bit of dough around here, just wipe it off. Okay, and then you're ready to roll out your scraps again. I'm just going to do a quick hand wash into the oven, upside down, 6 to 8 minutes. Do not let them get too brown on the bottom. There's carryover cooking when they come out of the oven. They are amazing. All right, so here I go, into the oven, upside down, you got it, upside down, 375. Six minutes. This is what they look like. Aren't they gorgeous? Look at that. Look at those cookies. Look how big they are. Big snowflakes. And wait till you decorate them. They look like the real thing, only better tasting. So I hope you've enjoyed the best gingerbread cookie recipe you will ever have in your entire life. And I want you to be on the lookout for a video on how to decorate these. It's going to be spectacular. I hope you become a subscriber. Until next time.